Hey, time to film the Q&A questions that I got when I asked for your guys' questions a few weeks ago because I wanted to film a Q&A. If there were enough questions, of course, because I didn't really know if people had questions and if it was, feasible for me to film a Q&A yet. But I got quite a lot of questions, so I can film a nice size, nice length video on it. I'm going to be working on a kit while I answer these questions, just to give you something to look at when you listen. This is the kit I'm working on. It's from Steen by Steen Diamond Painting. It's a Dutch shop, and this one is called Bryn, and it's from Amaris. And I will link this kit in the description as well. I also have a coupon code if you want to use that. It's not an affiliate code, just for your benefit. I'm using this tray today. This one is from Melior 3D Print. And I'm using this pen. This one is from C'est Plus Beau Tour. Yeah, let's start. I asked questions on Instagram and on YouTube. So both of these media platforms, if you'll call it that, are going to be involved. So for the next time, if you would want to ask a question yourself, I'm always going to be asking for questions on both. So just so you know, yeah, let's start. I'm first going to do the YouTube questions, and for those I wrote down the names. For the Instagram questions, I forgot to also put down the names, so I'm very sorry, but I don't remember the names of the people who asked the questions over on Instagram, but I hope you will forgive me for that. The first questions are from, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, but TPHLIXN. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. And she asked, what are the deciding factors when buying a diamond painting? Do you have a minimum size, color palette, all that kind of stuff? So when I buy a diamond painting, when I choose a diamond painting to buy, I should say, the first thing I look at is indeed the color palette. I'm sorry, I'm trying to decide which color I'm going to do first. I think I'm going to start on the edge. I'm looking at the color palette first, as I said, because I found that makes, damn it, it's stuck. Let go. I find that is the most important thing for me when diamond painting, because when I have a painting that is, for example, all dark colors, I'm not going to enjoy it. I know myself. I know I need color in my paintings. So that's the first factor. I also look at size. I do want them to be big enough so the image is nicely portrayed, if you know what I mean. I don't want to spend my time working on a painting that's not going to have a nice end result. And also, obviously, I look at quality. I almost only buy from companies that I know the quality is good of, so I'm not disappointed. The most kits I have from Diamond Art Club, and they are just the best quality in my opinion. So if I see an image over there that I like, I know it's going to be great. The other things I look at is the image itself. I don't particularly enjoy doing landscapes, but that has mostly to do with the color scheme. It's a lot of brown, it's a lot of green. I'm not that big of a fan of those colors, so I tend to stay away from landscapes. But that is pretty much the deciding factors. The pricing is less of a factor for me because when I know I love a diamond painting, and especially now when I'm also doing YouTube and Instagram and stuff, yeah, it's my hobby, it's my one and only hobby, and I'm starting to make a little bit of money back from it now. So the pricing is not really a deciding factor for me. Then she also asked if I do other diamond painting projects like keychains and stuff, and I don't. I did do a birdhouse once upon a time, a long time ago. I'll pop a picture up on the screen. I filled the whole thing up with round drills, and it was actually for my work. We had a sort of contests along colleagues who could make the best birdhouse, and I thought it would be fun to cover it with drills. I didn't end up winning because they decided who won by where the birds would first start making their nest, if you know what I mean. And that wasn't in mine, so unfortunately I didn't win, but doesn't matter. It's just a fun thing among colleagues. So that's the only thing I ever did other than just a regular diamond painting, and I don't plan on doing anything else. I don't really enjoy doing coasters or the small paint jam sets. Nah, not for me. And then she also asked, how did I come across diamond painting? I was actually following a Dutch Instagram person and YouTuber, and she was actually a food influencer. I will pop the name up on the screen again. It was Oh My Foodness, and she started posting about diamond painting. She found that hobby and she really enjoyed it, and I watched all of her content on it and I wanted to try it for myself. So I ordered a painting from AliExpress and I couldn't wait for it to come in, and then when it did, I was hooked pretty much immediately, and I started buying a lot from AliExpress, which I now regret because they're not licensed. So I had to, no, I didn't had to. I did give a lot of the paintings away and also threw a few away, and I also kept a few still in my stash. But that was how I found the hobby. And she also has a diamond painting Instagram, but she doesn't post on there anymore. But she was my inspiration, if you will call it like that. Then she also asked, where and how do I store my stash? For this question, I'm going to refer you to my stash video I uploaded the beginning of May, and I show you how I store my stash over there, and you can also see everything that's in my stash, of course. They're all up in the attic, just nicely put away in the corner. Yeah, and our last question is, have you been able to introduce diamond painting to family and friends and gotten them hooked? Not really. I did introduce it to my mom. She did a few paintings and she enjoyed it. She actually has some hanging in her home as well, but she isn't doing that anymore now. She's a very, very creative person, so she has a lot of other hobbies that she enjoys doing more, like making cards, like greeting cards, and also crocheting. I think of the word. I was going to say knitting, but it's not knitting. Crocheting. I also introduced it to a friend, and she did a few paintings, but she also isn't doing it anymore. So unfortunately, I don't have a diamond painting buddy that I can paint with in real life, which is sad. No, it's fine. I like diamond painting by myself the best anyway. Then someone asked, IP Susanna asked, how do I film my ASMR videos and how do I get them looking so shiny? I really don't know about the shiny part. Sometimes I film my ASMR videos in the daylight and then I don't use any artificial light. So then it's just, I guess, daylight bouncing off on the of the drills. And sometimes I use a little ring light when I film at night. So I guess that gives off a certain spark, a certain shine to the drills. That's might be what she's referring to. But the way I film my ASMR videos is I have a tripod with a bendy arm and I position my phone. My phone is where I film on, just so that the camera is positioned like this, like as you're watching it right now, and just a little bit angled above my diamond painting, so you can see what I'm doing. I don't really know what else to say about it. I also always zoom in a little bit. I film from a little further away than I probably could, but it gives me more room to move my hand around here and not bump the camera. Then Nikki from Diamond Art by Nikki asked some questions. She also asked how I discovered diamond painting, but I already covered that question, so I'm going to skip that now. And then she asked what my first ever diamond painting was. It was, as I said, a cheapy one from AliExpress. It was of a landscape, of all things. You know that I'm not much of a fan right now, but it was a bit of a different landscape. It was really, really fun colors. I'll try to find a picture and pop it up on the screen right now. I did really enjoy doing the painting. I actually started multi-placing right away because I saw people doing it and I thought I can do that too. And it's going to go faster and I can do more diamond paintings in the same amount of time. So yeah, that was a really fun painting for me to get hooked on this beautiful hobby. And then I moved on to some other AliExpress ones. I actually don't have that first painting anymore. I actually threw it away a few months ago. I kept it all that time up in the attic, but when I was trying to make some space, that one had to go. I didn't have anyone in my family or friends that wanted to have it, so I just threw it out. The quality wasn't great. It was AliExpress. The image looks fine, but not the best, so it was totally fine for me to just throw it out. Then she also asked, would I ever order a custom? Yeah, sure, I would. I've never done that, but I'm open to the idea. But I must say I don't see myself doing that anytime soon because I don't really have an image that I would want to have a diamond painting made above. If I did have an image, I would definitely consider it. I'm not sure where I would order a custom from. I do hear Evermoment from AliExpress has really nice quality drills, so maybe I would go there, but haven't really thought about it since I don't have one that I would want to have a custom made up of. When I do, I'll think about how I'm going to go about it, but not right now. I don't need to. Then she also asked, what are the future plans for the Etsy shop and what products can we expect to see over there. I'm actually not going to answer that question right now because I have a lot of thoughts about my Etsy shop, and I'm going to film a whole dedicated whip and chat style kind of video on it soon to elaborate a little bit more about my plans. So, and lastly, she asked this really funny question: who's your best diamond painting buddy? And of course, she knows it's herself. She's my diamond painting friend. She lives in Austria and I live in the Netherlands, and we actually just decided to meet up for the first time. It's going to still be a while before we do, but I'm very, very excited to meet her. Then we're moving on to the Instagram questions. And as I said, I don't have names for people asking the questions over there on Instagram because I forgot to write them down when I had a chance, and now I can't get to them anymore. So I'm sorry if you asked questions, but I hope you will forgive me. Also, someone asked, what wax do I use and why? I use my own putty. I don't use wax. I don't use the pink wax that comes with it. I use my own putty, such as these ones. These are also ones I sell on my Etsy store. These aren't my favorite scents. I don't really have a favorite scent. I like most of them, not all, but most. And these were just two we had left over. So that's what I use. That's what I use in my multi-placer. That's what's in here right now. And in my single placer, I use glue dots. These ones. I just got them from a big store over here in the Netherlands. Not a particular craft store, just any office supply store. And why do I use putty? Because I love it. I've been using the pink wax for a long time until I learned about putty, and then I ordered some from an Etsy shop and I fell in love with putty. So yeah, that's when I started using it. I've actually tried a few of other stores putties, but not to toot my own horn, but I love my putty the most. Of course, because I had the chance to make it how I like it. So it would be a bad thing if I didn't like my own putty the best. Then I would be doing something wrong, in my opinion. That's about it about the putty. It lasts way longer, by the way, than pink wax, and if you use it correctly, some people say that putty isn't usable for ABs, but in my case, in how I use it, in how my putty is made, it is very much usable with ABs. The only difference I do when I'm putting ABs down, I run my finger over it and also dab just on my skin or on my forehead, as weird as that may sound, but on an oily part of your skin, and then it takes away a little bit of the stickiness, and you can easily still pick up drills, but they won't stick to the putty, they will just stick to the canvas. I'm going to show you right now because this one is ABs. So as I said, I just flattened it and dabbed it on my forehead. And then I can easily place these AB drills and they stick to the canvas just fine. They don't stick to the putty, to my pen. They just go down as they should. And when they do start to stick a little bit, as they are right now, I just flatten it again, dab it on my skin again, and then it's good to go. So that makes placing ABs way easier in my opinion. and I don't dislike them anymore. I did used to dislike placing them because they are so, yeah, they are known just to be difficult. So I'm really glad that I found a way to make placing ABs enjoyable for me again. And I hope if you use my putty, you enjoy it too, of course. Then someone else on Instagram asked, what are my top 5 artists? And I don't really have a top 5. I do really love the paintings that Miss Butterdee does because of the color scheme and because they're all brought out by Diamond Art Club. So the quality, the rendering, it's all amazing. I also really love Margaret Morales' artwork. I also have a lot of her paintings that Diamond Art Club brought out. I have them actually all except one. So I'm also going to buy that last one. I want to have the Margaret Morales set complete, if you will. And let me think. I also like Chrisabak's images a lot. I don't have a lot of hers, but I do like them. I'm blanking a little bit on other artists. Oh, the ones I have the most of in my stash. I love Hannah Lynn. That's the artist I have the most of. And I love Randall Spangler's artwork for diamond painting. And I also love Dimitra Milan's artwork. Oh, and I'm going to add a sixth. Molly Harrison is also an artist that I really like. And I'm probably, when I'm editing this video, I'm going to be like, oh, that one too and that one too. But right now, I can't think of any other artists that I really love. So I'm going to leave it at that. She also asked my top 5 wax. I already answered that. I don't use any other putty than my own right now. So I don't have a top 5, I have a top 1. And she also asked top 5 pens. I don't really have a top 5 pens either. My top 2 or 3, if you will, pen turners are the one that I'm using right now, C'est Plus Beau Tour. I have the most of by far. I think my total pen stash is about 12 right now, and I believe 9 of them are from C'est Plus Beau Tour. I also love the Norse Alchemist pens. I have 2 of these, and I also have 1 Diamond Pen Pal pen. Ooh, that was a tongue twister. So those are my top 3 pen turners, but I don't have a favorite pen. I love them all. The shape of a pen doesn't really matter to me. I don't notice a difference while diamond painting on the shape of the pen, if you know what I mean. I do like a thicker pen, but pretty much all hand-turned pens are the right thickness, in my opinion. I don't like the cheapy free ones you get with your kit. Those do hurt my hands after a little bit. Then she also asked my top 5 trays. And again, I don't really have a top 5 trays. The only trays I use are from Melior 3D Print, where this one is also from. I have 3 others. I have this one. It's called lime green, but it's not really lime green in my opinion. It's a bit of a, yeah, just a pretty green. Let's keep it at that. And I also have this one, which is a very dark blue, and I have a light yellow one. I have 3 new ones coming, and they're a bit rainbowy, so I'm super excited to get these. But these are the only trays I use. I believe this is the biggest size they do, and I really like that because you can just pour a lot of drills in there and don't have to be refilling every few minutes. And then the last thing she asked, top 5 canvases. I actually did a video on my top 10 kits in my stash that I'm looking forward to most to start, and I think that gives a nice representation of the top 5 kits in my stash. So if you want to know more, I'm going to try to link that video in the description box so you can go watch it if you're interested. I don't know on the top of my head which kits I put at the top over there, but right now I'm most excited to start on a Mrs. Butterdy because I haven't worked on one of her kits before and I can't wait. I just want to start one and I think I'm going to very, very soon. And then another person asked, and this is the last question, when did I start diamond painting? I started diamond painting in about August of 2020. My first son was born in April of 2020, and I was looking for, I know I wasn't really looking for, I came across this hobby, as I said earlier in the video, and yeah, I wasn't really planning on picking up a hobby because picking up a new hobby with a new baby isn't the best combo. I didn't have a lot of time, but I made time to diamond paint, and I still do. And she also asked how and when did I start my Etsy shop. I started my Etsy shop on the 1st of December of last year, so about 6 months ago now. It was actually a very spontaneous thing. I didn't think about it for a long time. I just had the idea and jumped in. I almost immediately started buying supplies, and 2 weeks later, my Etsy shop was open. So it was very spontaneous, but very, very good. If I may say so myself, idea. The reason why I started my Etsy shop is because I was looking at all the putties available on Etsy, and they were pretty much all in America. And if you're from Europe and you want to order from America, the shipping and taxes are insane. So I wanted to start a putty shop in Europe and be one of the only ones in Europe. So I saw an opportunity, basically, and I took it. And it worked out really, really well, in my opinion. And what really surprises me is that I also have quite a lot of people from the United States ordering from me. I'm obviously very, very glad and very flattered that they do, but I don't understand it. Sometimes people just order one putty or even one sample putty from America, and they're paying over 20 euros for just one putty. I don't get that. I feel like there are so many putty shops in America, and you don't need to be ordering from a European shop. But of course, as I said, I'm really thankful that they do and that they like my product, but I don't understand it. Most of my customers are from the Netherlands, from Germany, and from Belgium, but I have had orders from all over the world, which is insane, but it makes me so happy. It's such a dream to be making your own products and to be able to sell them to people who really enjoy them and who can use them for their hobby and to make their painting experience a little bit more pleasant. It's just super nice. So very happy to do it, very happy to be here. And also very, very thankful for everyone who supports me. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, got a little bit more done. Only her face left, her eye, and the background is pretty much done. So I'm going to be working on this one off camera. I hope you like this video. Hope you learned something new about me. And if you have any other questions, you can leave them down below this video and I will write them down and take them to the next Q&A video if I ever do another one, which I'm sure I will. I just don't know when yet. Yes, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a very nice day. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.